Channel 4 fired Boris Johnson from US election show for promoting his book, the co-host says. We're going to read into this more from The Guardian, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an article from The Guardian with the headline that Channel 4 has fired Boris Johnson from the US election show for promoting his book, the co-host says. The former British Prime Minister kept bringing up his memoirs despite being warned to put it away, and was later replaced on the TV panel. Guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button and share this across social media so others are notified of this video. So I'm not going to talk about the result of the US election. I'm not going to be talking about Donald Trump specifically. I will be covering that on not one but two different live streams. So if you really want my thoughts on that, do check out the live stream of the Snowflake Talks on Donald Trump in the US, or you can check out the other live stream that will be coming up of myself, or that's already happened myself, and with One Angry Pagan, talking with One Angry Pagan, where we will talk about the US election there as well. So if you want my thoughts and all that, please go to one of those two live streams for my analysis on the US election. Now, this story here in particular, whatever your opinions or thoughts on Donald Trump, on Boris Johnson, whatever you think of the guy, whether you like the guy, whether you like the guy, whether you think he says a lot of good things, whether you think he's funny or he's charismatic, or whether you're someone who got things done, or if you think like me that you think he's a problem, he's a liar, he's responsible for killing a mass amount, that you feel he is responsible for killing a mass amount of COVID victims during the pandemic when he was Prime Minister. An array of flaws with this man. Whatever you might think of him, okay? His purpose on this show was to talk about the US election. That was his show. Now, I've seen some clips of this. This is from Channel 4, by the way. This was on Channel 4's Channel 4. I have no idea for the life of me why on God's green earth Channel 4, of all channels, because you would think that they would be sensible with the people that they put on their panel. Why on earth they put Boris Johnson on there? But they did. They wanted to put him on there. They wanted to diverse his opinions. And okay, that's fine. But what did you expect from Boris Johnson? And the guy is so desperate to sell his book. You know why he's so desperate to sell his book? Because it's doing so crap. Because not many people are buying his book. Because nobody wants to buy what he says. Because the guy is responsible for a lot of people dying during the pandemic. This guy partied while people died. Yeah, while people couldn't say goodbye to their loved ones. This guy is not sorry for that. He's not sorry at all. Never has been, never will be. And the Conservatives are not sorry about anything that they did during that time either. That's even the worst part. And he would have been completely fine on there if he had just kept talking about the US election. But all he wanted to do was talk about the goddamn book. It's absolutely... And, you know, you're there to talk about the US election. You're not there to talk about your book. You're not there to talk about yourself. You're there to talk about the US election, the results. You talk about Trump, talk about Harris, talk about the battle states, all that kind of stuff. That's what you're there for. You're not there to talk about yourself. I mean, you could talk about interactions that you have had with Kamala Harris or with Donald Trump or with those in America. You can obviously, but you're not there to talk about yourself. But he was trying to turn the subject into him, me, buy my book. Like, it just seems ridiculous. So Boris Johnson was fired for banging on about his book during a guest appearance on Channel 4's coverage of the US election, according to the programme's co-host Krishnan Guru-Murthy. It was not clear whether Johnson's exit from the programme had been planned or if he had departed early. During the show, the former UK Prime Minister was told off for holding up his memoirs and plugging it just minutes into the live programme titled America Decides the US Presidential Election. Channel 4 newsreader Guru-Murthy told Johnson to put it away and stop it enough, as he twice referenced his new book in an attempt to hold it up to viewers. Guru-Murthy described the former Prime Minister's actions as so cheap. Johnson retorted, "There's absolutely nothing you can do to stop me. I'm allowed to plug my book." There's nothing wrong with plugging your book, but you're not there to plug your book. Like, you can, like, Like, talk and then maybe show your book once, maybe once, but you don't need to keep, like... literally, there's a clip here if you want to have a look at it as well. The link will be for this in the description. Later during the panel discussion, Johnson said he met with former US President and Republican Donald Trump after his attempted assassination in July. In case I failed to mention this, I'm promoting my book Unleashed, and I had to talk about him in Ukraine, he said. This is later during the discussion panel, by the way. That's not minutes after he already promoted the book. When asked about following in Trump's footsteps regarding the political comeback if he was to win the presidential election, he said, the answer is obviously contained in Unleashed when you find the full discussion of this subject. Co-host Emily Matazes told him, we are not all going to read your book, so can you just tell us, do you want to have a political comeback? You can't actually answer a single question. Johnson responded, by the way, Emily, I've answered all your questions all night. Currently, I'm blissfully engaged in promoting my book Unleashed, available in all good bookstores. Later in the program, Johnson was replaced on the Channel 4 panel by Michael Cohen, who served as a lawyer and former President Trump. Guru-Murthy told viewers Boris Johnson has been fired for banging on about his book. A representative for Channel 4 was contacted for comment by PA Media. Like, what is the matter with this guy? Like, seriously, like, just keep going on about your goddamn book. You're not there to talk about the book. You're there to talk about the US election. You're there to talk about your engagements and relationship with Donald Trump, the relationship that you have with America, like US politics. That's what it's about. It's about the US elections, about what's happening there. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. Yeah, it's all there in the first place. It's got nothing to do with you, Boris. It's about about America. I mean, how bloody stupid does this guy need to be? Like, it tells you just how desperate this man is to sell his book. I mean, it's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane, guys. So what do you guys think? Do you think Boris Johnson... Do you, like me, question why on earth Channel 4 put him on? Do you think Boris Johnson was right to promote his book? Maybe plug it once. But was it justified for him to plug it right at the start of the show, right in the middle of the show, not answer questions and just keep saying, you'll find all my answers in the book? Was he in any way justified to say any of that? Let me know your thoughts and more down in the comments section below. If you found this video informative, please hit the like button. We greatly appreciate it. Share this across social media so others are notified of this video. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing because it really does help support the channel. And if you want to go one step further, financially support me and the work that I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p, or join me on Rumble or Patreon for exclusive content on those platforms. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.